All right, guys, so we're obviously back at the house, and one of the main reasons why is because we wanted to give a little bit longer outro to talk about Six Flags and the day we were there a couple days ago. It was like 20 to 25 mile an hour winds. Yeah, with bursts of wind that were even higher. So that's going to kind of play into a couple of topics we wanted to discuss, but it's also why we're doing this outro here because it was just been way too windy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go first on? Let's just put it this way: we're gonna provide some constructive feedback, and I think mainly just to let you know kind of what to expect. We'll tell you what we were expecting, and a bit of a letdown. I'm gonna say it. I grew up going to Six Flags, so Six Flags actually was celebrating this year its 60th anniversary. That was actually on the marquee when we drove in. We didn't talk about that before this video, but I'm not that old,
and
but
nothing has been updated in that 60 years.
I'm not that old, but I am old enough to at least have experienced maybe half of those years as a kid and through now. And I'm just disappointed. I feel like it's going downhill. I really do. I hate to provide that feedback, but you want to start with a couple of the topics?
Sure. So we did know on our way there that we were probably gonna have to deal with some ride closures just because of the wind. But literally, maybe a third of the rides were rideable while we were there.
Yeah.
And some of them, I actually asked the people working, we would be in line, and all of a sudden the ride would close. That happened to us 4 different times. And I would ask, is this because of the wind? They're like, no, it's some kind of other mechanical difficulty. And they're like, you can wait or not. And so like one time we waited for a while, of like 20, 30 minutes. And then they're like, okay, everybody has to leave. We got to clear the line because it was going to take longer to fix. So that was a bummer. And of course you have kids who are excited to ride. And then, you wait in line for 30 minutes. It's like, oh, never mind. Go ahead and go.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So that was kind of a bummer. The kids area, did you guys get to do anything over there, or was all of it closed?
We didn't try.
Okay.
But when we drove by it, because it's right there by the road, it looked like it was all closed.
Yeah, and somebody at the park was saying that it was all closed. But and then I guess
there's actually a couple of rides. So like I think it's a Joker ride.
Yeah. And
a couple of others. Ever since we've had season passes, which has been a year, how long have we had season passes? A year and a half-ish.
Yeah.
Has not been open yet.
Yeah.
The very first time we went, it was open. It has not been open yet.
Yeah.
And there's many others. Now, I get right now it's the off season, so there are some rides that are going to be closed, like at the Roaring Rapids. Wherever the rapid, wherever the water rides are. I get that. Understood. I know it's part of, right now we're still in COVID. It's kind of the off season. But if you have a season pass and you're going to invest the time to drive nearly an hour to go to Six Flags and spend the money while you're there on food and beverage, which we'll get to that in a minute, you expect there to be some rides open, not over half of them closed. So a little frustrating, but there's more.
So I know we've probably been a little bit spoiled because our pandemic amusement park experiences have been at Disney and Universal, and they've been amazing with like the spacing and the hand sanitizer and making sure that people follow the rules. And here, you were lucky if you could find somewhere with hand sanitizer, which we brought our own, so that wasn't a huge deal for us. Like I brought stuff to like wipe down the tables because all of them were just gross. Like people would actually step over trash. Like they would have like the trash picker uppers and like literally walk on top of trash and not pick it up.
Not only that, but I was waiting for y'all to get off the Batman ride, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I saw a manager, or at least someone of higher level, walking with a trash trash picker upper. I don't know. And I watched him look at the ground, step on top of trash while holding the trash picker upper, and keep walking.
Yeah.
Like not that he wasn't looking or missing. Like I watched his line of sight. Like he purposely stepped on the trash and kept walking. And not only that, but there was multiple times that there was groups of 3 or 4 managers walking together with the trash picker uppers that taped to them had signs, saying please wear your mask, but they were literally like down on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point? Like,
people always either had their mask down below their nose and or mouth or completely off, and nobody would say anything to them about it.
Yeah, and we're not like the freak out, wear your mask, like COVID police type of people. Like,
right.
We're not. Like,
but when you're in like a line.
Yeah, but I think it's obvious that we've gone now to Disney, we've gone to Universal, we've been to Six Flags. Sorry, our dog just shook and like.
He's really loud. His figures.
Sorry. So we've been on airplanes, like we've traveled. We're not like shying away necessarily from doing things because of COVID. So don't get me wrong. Like
we're just trying to be responsible.
But we're cautious. Yeah. But there was one ride where it's a shooting game ride. So everyone on the ride picks up the gun and is shooting, and you get off and like there's no hand sanitizer anywhere on a ride which that's pretty much any amusement ride where everyone's touching everything.
Right.
There's no hand sanitizer. So it just was kind of mind blowing. There were, don't get me wrong, there were places that had hand sanitizer, like the big jugs that like the big squirts.
But a lot of them were empty.
But yeah, even some of those were empty, and it's like, okay, this is the biggest gallon you could find, and that's empty too. I don't know. It was just concerning. That's I guess that's the way to phrase it.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, those were our main issues: is the rides being closed, and people not following the COVID guidelines, and nobody enforcing them to follow them, and then just how dirty it was. It was
the
just
park
really
itself.
dirty.
The park itself just was. It's lacking. The other thing that I think is lacking, and I get right now, it's COVID, so it's the off season as well. But I think this probably was the case even before COVID. Is the mills at amusement parks. When you go to an amusement park, you're there a long time. You're clearly going to get hungry. You're going to want to eat food. You pay a lot of money for the food. At least give us some options. I mean, burgers, fries, and chicken. Like, just give us some options.
They did have, a black bean burger.
And there is a place near, what is that by the Mine Train that has nachos, and the nachos are pretty good for amusement park food. I do get the nachos every time.
They have Dippin' Dots everywhere, so the kids are always happy with that.
Yeah, but I would say that they're definitely lacking in the meal options. I'm not saying it's got to be Gordon Ramsay gourmet stuff, but he's a cook. He's a chef, right? Gordon Ramsay? Okay, I almost said Dave Ramsey. But anyways, Dave Ramsey would tell you to bring your own sandwich to the park and not buy meals there.
You can't bring your own food in there.
You can go back to the car, I guess.
That's true.
Anyways, the meals could be better. But yeah, I think the park in general, it's 60 years old. They just need to invest some money to make it better. I mean, when you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, or Arlington is where the park is at, and such a huge metropolitan area, one of the top largest cities in the country, and it's the only big amusement park and really other than Six Flags Fiesta Texas in the state of Texas, or even in this whole area, even from Arkansas, Oklahoma, you name it, people will come here, invest in the park. It's got to be better. So just want to give you a heads up.
I'm taking Ryan at the end of the month to check out
Fiesta Texas.
Fiesta Texas.
And SeaWorld.
Yeah, so we'll be able to kind of compare those.
So we'll have some more. Not that this is about an amusement park review type of channel, but we love.
We do like music.
Yeah, but we do love going. I mean, the kids love to go. We like to go. Megan Marie's an adrenaline junkie. I like
the best thing about Six Flags was Mr. Freeze. That completely turned at least mine and Ryan's night around, because after we rode that, we're like, oh, this place is awesome. You kind of forget about all the other stuff.
But even that ride, so I rode the mini mine train with the little kids while they were riding Mr. Freeze, and it literally runs probably within 10 feet of Mr. Freeze. It's that close, and you look over at Mr. Freeze, like the actual ride, and you would literally think that it was like run down, closed, hasn't worked in a decade. There's rust and paint chipping everywhere. It's like, just invest in your theme park or amusement park.
Mr. Freeze is one that we were in line for 2 different times, and one was shut down and we had to leave. And then the second time, it was a long wait, a very long wait.
Well, yeah, it's a long wait because all the other rides are broken.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it was awesome.
The
actual ride was fun. But would we recommend going to Six Flags right now in Dallas? No, we would not.
Wait till the prime season. Hopefully some of
Yeah.
the stuff will be up and running and better.
No.
So here's what's coming up though. We've got a trip, just the two of us, to Florida. We're gonna do some fishing. Megan Marie's gonna go on a bass boat and fish.
So
with
you'll have
me.
to check out Jeremy's channel.
Yeah, so
because I don't think that will make it.
So come check out my channel, Fishing Lone Star. It might make it on there. We'll see. But we'll also, while we're there, we're also gonna go to Miami to the Improv Club to watch John Christ.
Super excited about that.
So that'll be fun. So check out that. The next weekend after that, we will be going. No, you're gonna be going to North Carolina with Reese to Great Wolf Lodge there. So we'll give a review on Great Wolf Lodge in North Carolina. The weekend following that. This sounds crazy, but we're all going to be going to Universal as a family. That's spring break. So, which is interesting because we started the pandemic spring break last year in Universal. So this will be a
So
full
we're going to
year.
turn it all around. So we're just doing like
That's
a
right.
reset and everything's going to go back to normal.
While we're at Universal, we will push the reset button for all of us. That's really funny. I hope you are still watching this video.
It's really long, so I doubt it.
And y'all probably stop watching by now. But then the weekend after that, Megan Marie is taking Ryan and a friend down to San Antonio. She just mentioned to Fiesta, Texas, and SeaWorld. And the weekend after that,
I'm going to do something with just little Jeter, man.
We'll take Jeter maybe back to Six Flags or another indoor water park.
Yeah, I think he really wants to go back to Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah. He just threw his hands in the air like a rock star. So we got a lot coming. So stay tuned to the channel. A lot of fun stuff coming your way, and a couple other like fun challenge videos that we're gonna do here at the house. So some unique, different stuff. But anyways, thanks for checking out this video of another episode of Weekend Wilders. Yeah. And until next time, we wild.
Bye.